Short answer is yes. It very much is. And if you want, you can click off now. So let me say the long answer. So basically with self-improvement, it's self-improvement. You improve yourself. And when you improve yourself, what you will see is that you have yourself, you have the internal, and then you have the external. And when you go on self-improvement, you're really trying to build up the internal, right? The internal as just you. And the more you focus on improving yourself, in my experience, the less you will depend on external factors. Then less you will depend on whether or not there's a party this weekend, because you'll truly be fulfilled and proud of yourself, of the person you have become. So that's just one of the benefits, is that it will improve in your entire life, because what is the one thing that you have everywhere you go? With no exception, it's you. And self-improvement will make you better, and in turn, everywhere you go, better as well. Now, of course, you will sacrifice some things, and that's the hard part. Now, it depends on your lifestyle, right? For me, personally, it was gaming. That's just one example, but the biggest one. I cannot play games for just 1 hour a day. I just can't do that. 1 or 2 or 3 even, I can't, because I need a big gaming session. I'm a big gaming guy. So if I play the game for 1 or 2 hours, that for me means that I just don't enjoy the game enough to be playing it anyways. So I'd rather just not play it. I'd rather just put 1 or 2 hours. No, I'm not going to say work. I'm not hustle grind. But speaking with my family or watching a movie with my mother or my sister, or something like that, something better than just being, flicking away at buttons. But for you, that might be drinking. That might be going out partying. That might be watching YouTube. That might be, I don't know, eating, whatever your vice is. But even though you sacrifice these things, I guarantee you that the things that come in return are much, much better. I remember when I first started going on a diet and I was overweight. And of course, what do you sacrifice? You sacrifice the nice pleasure of food, right? Just, oh, this is tasty. And I thought, man, I know all these people say they just thought they would never do it, but they end up doing it. And ironically, I'm the guy that says that if I was able to do it, you can too. And I thought that was cliche, but it really is true. And I made a sacrifice, right? I sacrificed the pleasure of just eating whatever I wanted. And it felt good at the moment, temporarily, but then I felt terrible to not having that temporary satisfaction and actually eating a fair amount of food, what was fair to my body and good food. But then the temporary pain or lack of pleasure, when that was over, then it was sort of not eternal, but much more long-lasting pride of me being able to actually control what I was eating. So I made a sacrifice from eating whatever I wanted to actually feel proud about myself. And that was very good. Now, a really cool thing that could happen is if you stick long enough with sacrificing something for your self-improvement journey. And I will use gaming, for example, like I just mentioned before. I sacrificed gaming. And in the beginning, it's tough because not only do you enjoy it, but it's more than that. It's because, especially if you're a big gamer, it's hours a day. So it's a huge chunk of your day. So you just make that disappear like that. And then it's emptiness. It's like, oh, nice, I got it away. But what do I do now? What do I put to substitute gaming, which is the big part of quitting a bad habit? You have to substitute it. You can't just remove, because then it's empty space and you're going to fill it in with that again, probably. Or do another bad habit that you shouldn't be doing. So you need to substitute it. And in the beginning, this was hard, right? Because I didn't really have something that was as pleasurable as gaming. So stuff. But over time, as I didn't play games, I didn't seek it as much. And I started seeking things that were better for me and for my life. Like journaling, meditating, and you know the habits, I don't need to say them. But I started filling in that time with those habits that were better for me. And I stopped, not totally, I still get cravings, of course, I'm human. But I stopped getting as many or as much cravings, not sure how to say it. But I didn't get as many or as much cravings as before, right? So the sacrifice, which was giving gaming, stops feeling like a sacrifice. So if you have a sacrifice and then you have what you want, right? You sacrifice something for what you want, and then the sacrifice stops feeling like a sacrifice, then all you have is what you want. And isn't that amazing? You went through pain so that your future self would have that goal. And then the sacrifice just isn't enjoyable anymore, and you have what you wanted, and you actually enjoy doing it. It will take some hard work to get there. And I'm speaking from experience, and I'm still getting there, but it's not suddenly it happens. It's along the way the sacrifice starts going down and down and down and down and down, and you start enjoying what you should be doing. Gradually you start enjoying it more, and it's amazing. You start loving hard work and the results as well. So yes, it's worth it. Thanks for watching. Strive for progress, not perfection.